This is KGW News at noon.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Brenda Braxton. Alaska Airlines passengers are watching and waiting to find out if pilots will decide to strike. Today, the union started voting whether or not to authorize a walkout. The pilots are pushing for better pay and scheduling, but talks with Alaska have stalled. The airline has already cut flights because of a pilot shortage. Now this potential strike looms over the summer travel season. Voting closes in 2.5 weeks on May 25th. We will see what happens after that. And some disappointing news from Ski Bowl. The resort decided to shut down its mountain biking trails this summer after it lost a lawsuit, presumably from somebody injured in a biking accident. Ski Bowl says it's too risky financially to keep those bike runs open. So far, they're only closing for the summer. We'll let you know if that changes. And those are some of your local headlines today. Well, we are seeing some really cold temperatures, at least for the month of May. Rod, some places dropped into the 30s this morning.
Oh boy, here they are, the morning lows that we had at the official sites. And there's Hillsborough at 33, McMinnville 34. So I would say it's somewhat obvious that there were at least spots that got down to 32 and maybe had a touch of very light frost this morning. Now, Portland stayed at 41. Vancouver, Pearson Airfield 41. Also out in Troutdale was 41 degrees. But even that's chilly for this time of the year. Newport was down to 36. Salem stopped at 39. And then we had all kinds of freezing numbers. Central and Eastern Oregon, Bend and Prineville each got down to 28 degrees this morning. Normally the low for the Rose City, it was 41 this morning. Normally the low would be upper 40s. All right, so let's stay with our cold weather theme. It's been doing this all morning up at Timberline Lodge, and that is light snow falling. The passes have warmed up and they're okay. Again, daytime heating, the pavement warms up. Government Camp just above freezing at 33, but it's a wet pavement there. Santana Pass was totally snow covered this morning, but now that's cleared out as well. Here's downtown Portland. We're at 52, at least we're in the 50s, right? Radar's been showing some scattered showers that are starting to pick up a number, so odds are good you'll find at least a shower or two this afternoon. We plan to get up into the mid 50s. We'll talk more chilly weather coming up in my forecast.
All right, what a run we've had, Rod. Thank you. Today, police identified the suspect accused of shooting and killing a woman last night in southeast Portland. 25-year-old Wyatt Belcher faces charges of murder and unlawful use of a weapon. The woman was found dead on the East Bank Esplanade near Salmon Street just before midnight. Police aren't releasing details yet about a possible motive. The man accused of vandalizing 2 synagogues and a Muslim community center will be in court soon. Michael Bivens is in the Multnomah County Jail. He's set to be arraigned this afternoon. Art Edwards spoke to one of the rabbis about the impact this crime is having on his congregation.
I'm really pleased that law enforcement, many different bureaus of law enforcement, took these incidents so seriously and worked very, very diligently to make this arrest.
Portland police arrested 34-year-old Michael Bivins Friday. He's suspected of setting a fire at the Portland Muslim Center. He was caught on camera outside the Muslim Center. He's also accused of breaking windows at 2 Jewish congregations and leaving graffiti at Congregation Beth Israel. The senior rabbi at Beth Israel said the attacks shook his congregation.
There are people who should feel comfortable in their synagogues, in their mosques, in their houses of worship, whatever they might be, and no one should make them afraid to have that freedom. This is part of what it means to live in the United States of America.
Bivens faces charges of arson and criminal mischief. He's being held in the Multnomah County Jail. He was arrested after showing up at a local television station and demanding to speak to a reporter. Bivens worked as a freelance journalist who covered protests in Portland over the last 10 years. He shared video with news organizations, including KGW. Rabbi Michael Z. Kahana says he'd like the man responsible to understand the impact of what he's done.
I would hope that he could understand the great harm that's caused by these kinds of incidents.
Michael Bivens faces charges of arson and criminal mischief. Portland police say they've been talking with the feds about this case and ask anyone with information to contact them. A pride event in Marion County won't happen this year because of safety concerns. Kaiser held its first Pride Fair last year and said it was successful despite one group of anti-gay protesters who showed up. But the organizer says there was more harassment online, so she canceled this year's event as a precaution.
Safety is knowing that my neighbor, rather than threatening me, is willing to stand beside me and say, "You're a human too, and you deserve to be here."
Claire Snyder says the city hasn't done enough to push back against anti-LGBTQ sentiment. But Kaiser's mayor issued a statement emphasizing the city's support for diversity and inclusion. Scientists at Oregon State and OHSU say they've found a way to treat pancreatic cancer. It's one of the deadliest kinds of cancer you can get. Devin Haskins talked with the group about its findings. And Devin, this could be a game changer for patients.
Yeah, no doubt, Brenda. Pancreatic cancer patients have a very small chance of surviving after getting their diagnosis. Doctors say that number, depending on when it's detected, can range anywhere from 11 to 30%. So this treatment, if it's approved, would significantly increase those odds. Now, without getting too scientific, pancreatic cancer is very hypoxic, meaning it has very low oxygen levels. That also means it basically kills any drug that enters the system pretty quickly. That's where the team at Oregon State's College of Pharmacy came in. They created a drug that lasted longer in those low oxygen environments. And that's also where they teamed up with OHSU. The OHSU provided the cancer cells and tumors to test those drugs on. Mice were used, and in the end, the team found out that after 100 days, they saw promising results.
We looked at the tumor tissue, all of it, it become more responsive to the treatment. And this is why we ended with the tumor in general cured in the mice, and it did not reoccur again after 100 days of the treatment.
Not only gives me hope, but I hope that it gives patients and their families hope, because we've made a lot of progress.
All right, so if you heard him say they cured the cancer in the mice, you didn't hear him wrong. And while that's very good news to hear for cancer patients and their family, this treatment still needs to go through multiple levels of testing and get approved. And doctors say that could take years. Brenda?
Still fascinating.
Yeah.
Such an important story. Thank you. And coming up this afternoon, we will hear more from Devin. He's reporting on a group of moms who spent Mother's Day trying to protect their kids from the deadly effects of opioids. It's a situation that touches so many lives. That story coming up in about 4 minutes. But first, let's get to other health news this afternoon. Oregon is trying to create the best work benefits in the country, and a new program could put that within reach. It would provide 12 weeks of paid leave for family health emergencies. Christelle Kumwe explains what that means for you and your employer.
The Paid Leave Oregon program will allow workers to take paid time off to address some of life's most important moments.
Well, I think it's very exciting that Oregon is a trendsetter in this area and that we're one of the first states to be implementing paid leave.
Karen Hamabaugh is the director of the program developed by the Oregon Employment Department. Paid Leave Oregon includes family leave for family health emergencies, medical leave for a worker's own health, and also safe leave for victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, harassment, or stalking.
It's unfortunate that it has taken until 2022 for policies like this to be in place.
Brandy Salover is the executive director of nonprofit Sexual Assault Resource Center.
Really takes, again, that burden off of folks' shoulders to know that it's not going to be leave that they're going to have to take unpaid, or they could potentially lose their job.
If workers have been with their employer for more than 90 days, their job is protected while on paid leave. The paid leave program is funded by a trust fund. Hamabaugh says both workers and employers will contribute to the fund through payroll taxes.
But the maximum contribution rate would be 1% of gross payroll. And then that shared contribution where the business is going to pay 40% of the contribution and the individual pays 60%.
All employers except federal and tribal governments are required to participate in the paid leave program.
It's so important for us to make sure that we're equalizing the playing field and really addressing generational poverty that has occurred for people who aren't able to take time off.
Employers will begin payroll contributions in January 2023, and workers will be able to apply for benefits in September of next year. I'm Christelle Kumwe for KGW News.